Hi there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan. If you're new here, I would love it if you would consider subscribing to this video if any of it resonates with you. Basically, this channel is really about luxury shopping, kind of using these pieces to actually like make your life easier or more fun. You know, sometimes it's just about having fun, but hopefully it's in a more mindful and reasonable way. We all have different levels of expendable income, we all have different priorities, but I really tried to make these things work for me and fit them into my lifestyle so that it doesn't become so overwhelming, so that I don't just become focused on material things and I never lose sight of what's really important, which is always like growth, exploration, spending time with my friends and family. Now, if you caught last Saturday's video, you'll know that I was having a little bit of a rant. I was a little bit frustrated with myself with how much I had bought last year, how much time I spent shopping online, just constantly scrolling through endless images. It was completely my own fault, and I definitely gave myself a good telling off, which I don't think is a bad thing. I don't think that like I was being too hard on myself. I don't think it's bad to set yourself straight every now and then. I mean, you are supposed to be your number one advocate. You're supposed to always be there for yourself, and I think giving yourself a telling off is just way more of a sign of like self-care, self-love, whatever, than all the bubble baths and all whatever crap they show you on Instagram. Like, that is actual self-care, looking out for yourself and telling yourself when you're messing up. So I was spending way too much time shopping online, bringing junk into the house that I didn't need. I definitely picked up some things that I love, but I do not need to pick up nearly as much this year. So that is why I went on a shopping ban in January and so far through February, just to kind of reset. I'm also only going to be bringing in 24 new things into this house, whatever it is, shoes, bags, whatever, anything, you know. My husband, he barely shops. Like, he got himself a pair of socks yesterday, and that was a big deal. Like, he doesn't get new things and he always looks great. So it's completely unreasonable in my mind for me to be constantly bringing in new things, to constantly have new packages delivered. And last year it was really frequent. It was pretty bad. So this is all about having a reset. This video I want to share with you 5 reasons why you might benefit from a shopping break. So the most obvious reason is if you do not have a nest egg, an emergency fund, just some money put aside where you do not have to worry about it. You don't need to touch it just until, you know, something comes up. You know, it's also important to think about things you want in the future. It's not fun to save for your future self. Like, when I say you, I mean me. Like, these are all things that I have learned about myself and mistakes that I have made. But I think enough research has been shown that people don't like saving for their future selves. They don't like thinking about goals that person will have, you know, like wanting to buy a house, wanting to buy a car, kids, you know, whatever it is, big expensive purchases, going back to school, remodeling, whatever. Whatever it is, it's not really fun to think about like your future selves savings and what they want to have. It's more fun to think about like what present you want. So yeah, not having a nest egg, some money that you can always rely on when the worst happens, like thinking about car repairs, whatever it is. I know that I'm gonna have to deal with that soon. That is a very, very good reason to go on a shopping break, because I need a car that runs. I do not need another bag. So another reason to take a break is if you have a closet full of clothes and you feel like you have nothing to wear. I got into that situation last year to the point where I didn't have room for all of the clothes that I had in this house. I was trying to clean up that, you know, and tidy for when our parents were coming for the wedding, and I barely had enough room for my sweaters just to be put away neatly. It was definitely a problem, and yet I would find myself sometimes dissatisfied with my options. Like, how do I have that much stuff and not feel satisfied with what I'm gonna wear that day, or feel like I don't have options? Mostly just because I would be buying things that didn't necessarily suit me. Either they didn't suit my current shape or colors that didn't suit me. So taking that break, taking that time off in January, it allowed me to see what was I reaching for, what colors were I reaching for all the time, what kind of clothes did I actually like to wear, and what do I not enjoy wearing, what do I not reach for. You know, and it's not just necessarily like, oh, I only reach for casual clothes because we're staying in. I still like to dress up and I take any excuse I can, but there are pieces that I don't reach for and there are clothes that are uncomfortable. So yeah, taking that break helped me distinguish between what I actually like, what suits my body, what colors look good on me, and now I'm not going to be buying those other things in the future, because otherwise you just end up with a lot of stuff that you don't necessarily like. Which is very much related to my next point, but you know, not only just having a bunch of clothes, but if you are wearing your clothes and you don't really feel good about them, you don't feel your most confident, you don't feel like they suit you, that's a really good reason to take a step back, pause from buying. I think it's really easy to want to do the opposite when you're not feeling 100% your clothes. If you feel like they don't suit you, it's easy to just like, well, the solution is to buy more things, buy things that suit you. I think it's really important to take a break, pause, and again, look at what you feel good in. Just look at what you do reach for. Think about, is this just you having kind of a low moment, or do you really not like those clothes anymore? Yeah, take a break. Think about what makes you feel your most beautiful, your most confident, and you can really only do that if you're not just constantly getting new things. Another really good reason to take a break is if you have found that shopping is your main hobby. I fell into this last year. Obviously we couldn't see friends, we couldn't travel, I couldn't do all the things that were really important to me, but there's still so much to do. And going on that break in January really showed me that, where I'm like, I need to cook more, I need to bake more, I need to read more, and I like to do all those things. Why am I not doing them? I can go for long walks, and my husband and I still do that, but I was doing a lot less because anytime there was a lull in my day, I would just turn to online shopping. As much as I hate to admit that, my husband and I work very different hours. We both work long hours, and yeah, if he wasn't home and I finished up work, if there was a lull in my day, I would just start browsing online at stuff and not do the things that I still really value. I mentioned in Saturday's video where I really want to learn French before I die. Like, I just want to learn a little bit at least of another language so that I can go to that country and feel confident. I learned just a little bit when I was going to Paris for a week, just like enough so that I didn't feel very rude, which mostly just involved me apologizing a lot. But, you know, I have this time, why can't I do that? And going on that shopping ban really put it in perspective, like how much time I was spending shopping online, always looking for new things, always looking to kind of satisfy that itch. So yeah, it's been really good to take a break. Obviously, then the last one is if you have a number of things that you haven't worn. I still haven't worn my Hengisi Manolo pumps. I love those shoes. I do not regret buying them, but I do not need any more stuff that I'm not currently wearing. I think I got them at a good price. They were 30% off, and I definitely love that bronze color. But I don't need just piles and piles of stuff that I'm not wearing. I have quite a few dresses that are getting very limited use at the moment. I'm not getting any more workwear. I don't need any more like fancy clothes. If my work situation drastically changes in a few months or in a year, I'll deal with it then. But while I still have things that I haven't worn, I definitely do not need to buy any more fancy pumps, fancy shoes, you know, things in that same vein that will also then not get used. It just doesn't really make any sense. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please let me know if you have anything to add, if there are any tips, suggestions, any clues for you that maybe you're thinking, oh, this is happening, I really, really need to take a break from shopping. It's been very good for me and my mindset. It's changed the way I look at my clothes. It's changed the way I've interacted online. And the ladies that I've been talking to, you know, we're all kind of in this same boat where we have separate careers that we're really excited about, but this is just a hobby. So you know, it's been a really good balance for me, and I've learned a lot from talking to them. So thank you so much for watching. Please consider liking this video if you enjoyed it, if any of it resonated with you. Hopefully I'll be doing more reviews soon. It will be more uplifting content, and I'm not always as tongue-tied. Well, yeah, I often will get tongue-tied in my videos, but I swear it's not always going to be kind of Debbie Downer stuff. I do still enjoy shopping. That's never gonna stop, but hopefully I continue to keep a good balance. I think this limit is just a really good reboot from my perspective. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!